David Wygant, 10-minute daily reality check, waking up Adam Gilad, who's in the house, literally in the house.
Literally in the house.
We literally in the house, in my house. My house is my studio. My life is my house. And my studio is all for you. Hey, Adam, there's something we were talking about. Do you remember what it was 5 seconds ago?
Yes.
Can you tell them?
You said we were talking about there's two approaches to what you're going to do with experience. You're either going to defend yourself, meaning your ego, or you're going to be open to learning about where you want to go in life. When you defend your ego, you're basically defending your past. When you're open to learning, you're basically identifying yourself not as a noun, as a thing that you've been, but as a verb of what you can become.
Okay, so why are people always defending their actions?
There's a great book, you know it, by Robert Cialdini called Influence. And there are 6 major ways that people influence each other. One of the principles of influence is called consistency. People want to feel consistent with their past beliefs. It's just a thing we have. So that's why people who are brought up in a religion will always end up defending that religion even though they don't really fucking believe in it. Why people have beliefs, it's very hard for them to change their beliefs on their own. And it's the same about their own ego, right? This is who I've been in the past. And if you reinforce that sort of the qualities of who we've been in the past, in order to feel safe in the world, people will defend that past person, even if they don't believe that that's who they actually are, because it's like an island of safety. So people will defend their past rather than open to who they can be in the future. And it creates a false sense of safety and security, and it kills the opportunity to evolve.
Kills intimacy.
Well, it kills intimacy because intimacy means, there's a great definition of intimacy. I think it's from Dr. Nancy Dreyfus's book called Talk to Me Like Someone You Love. And she says, intimacy is the ability to share your inner experience in the moment. If you're locked into identifying with your past, you can't fucking be intimate because you're identifying with who you used to be rather than who you are right now, who you're becoming in the moment. So yeah, it totally interferes with intimacy.
Did you ever see the movie Defending Your Life?
A long time ago.
Okay. Brilliant movie, right?
It's great. I never thought about that. Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
So,
great title, too.
Great title, right?
Right.
So many people will defend their life instead of embracing their life. And if you look at the 2 characters in that movie, you had Albert Brooks,
right,
who went to heaven because he bought a BMW convertible, listened to Barbra Streisand. Remember that scene? He reached down, the CDs fell, and hit a LA bus, right? And died.
Right.
He went up there and he thought he had a lawyer. And he was defending his life, defending all his actions, not learning from his experiences, not growing from his experiences, always being the scared Daniel. His name was Daniel. Always being the scared Daniel that he was. Always accepting things for what they came and always defending his actions and literally defending his entire life. Meryl Streep literally saved kids from a burning fire. That was one of the scenes from a movie. She embraced her life. Everything that happened to her in her life, she celebrated. The mishaps, she celebrated. She celebrated.
She was super spiritual.
Right. The things that went wrong in her life. And I think that's the biggest thing is that the people who are living their lives and constantly defending their life are not embracing their lives and not growing as a spiritual being.
Right.
To me, I have made many mistakes. If I had to sit back, and sometimes I'll go into defending your life mode, right? And I'll be like, I should have done this, or I could have done this, or I should have bought this house. That's defending my life, right?
Bitcoin!
Exactly. Oh, yeah, Bitcoin, exactly, right? So, but there's always another Bitcoin around the corner.
Hopefully.
There's always something else. No, that's not true, because there was the .com, and then there was the real estate boom, and then there was this, and then there was another chance to get in real estate, and then there was another Bitcoin.
Who was it? I think Warren Buffett or Steve Jobs said there's always another opportunity rolling along.
Always. You just got to put it out there as an evolved person that doesn't defend the past mistakes.
You just give me a great idea.
Well, if you hold the idea.
Go ahead.
If you look at yourself this way in life and you say to yourself, I miss Bitcoin. And if you really hone in and really think to yourself, I've got enough money right now coming in, I'm successful, I'm great, I'm fantastic, I'm going to find the next Bitcoin. I'm going to find the next opportunity, so I'm going to be able to partake in that instead of thinking about the things that you didn't do, because that's part of defending your life. So in that movie, Meryl Streep embraced her life, and I think that's what a lot of people don't do. They're defending their actions of the past, so they're repeating the mistakes of the past, and there's so much, as you said eloquently, they're so involved in their ego that they don't understand and see that you need to embrace every little thing that's come your way. Celebrate your mistakes. Don't defend them.
Right. The mistake is that there's an ego. So here's the idea you just gave me. I just had thinking this through. You keep saying the term defending your life. So many people defend their life, which is not defending your life, it's defending your past life. Here's a new term. Offending your life. How could you be offensive to your own life? How can you challenge who you fucking are right now? How can you stay open to, how can I grow? How can I let go of all the things that have made me small and stupid and held back and contracted and egotistical and holding back love? How can you offend yourself so you can crack open all the new possibilities that you can live? I like this, offending your life. We should write a movie called Offending Your Life, where you offend yourself, you offend your old ego. You literally challenge it. You say, fuck you. I'm not going to let you dominate my future. Yeah, you've owned my past, but you're not going to dominate my future. I'm going to dominate my future. And this is the process of waking up and taking control of your future.
I think that's what we call living into desire. You know, if you think about it, right? How do you live into desire? If you write down all your desires, if you write down the way you want to love, the way you want to live your life, the way you want to experience life, the way you want to have a relationship with your parents, with your friends, with your kids, with your children, those are desires. So if you think about it, instead of defending, you're offending into your desires. You're literally creating your desires on a daily basis and believing that your desires can actually come true.
Offend your past to create your future.
What do you want for your future?
Me?
Yeah.
This is a question someone just asked me. Depends on how I'm feeling, what time of the day. It's like when people ask me what my favorite music is. What's your favorite music? Well, it depends. Like in the morning, like it's like my morning starts like this. Alexa, play Another Day of Sun from La La Land. That's my first song of the day, right? It wakes me up, it's happy music. When I'm working, I listen to Lettuce, Snarky Puppy, kind of like jazz kind of cool stuff. In the afternoon, I like to listen to Chopin. You know, there's no favorite music. It depends on the time of day. So your question is like, what do I want for my future? It kind of depends on my time of day. Like sometimes I want peace. That's a question that's the answer that came to me when someone recently asked me on a date. I said, what do you really want for your future? And the first word that came to me was just peace. And it reminds me of what Brene Brown says. You know, I call her Saint Brene Brown because everything out of her mouth is just fucking sacred. She says, you have two ways of living in this world. You can try to fit in or you can belong. When you try to fit in, you twist yourself to try to fit into what social expectations are or somebody's expectations of you are. Eventually, hopefully, you find someone where you can just belong, which means you don't have to twist yourself anymore. This is all of me. This is who I am. And you're accepted by somebody else. And you can accept them. And you work from there rather than resenting the fact that they're flawed or resenting the fact that they're not what you want them to be in your idealized mind. And belonging means you finally can be at peace. So the word peace came out because, as you and I know, we know a lot of people, a lot of women, a lot of men, who have high expectations on who you're supposed to be, and they project that on you. And what love is, what belonging is finally being at peace because you're finally accepted. So I think after my tumultuous last couple of years being with someone who I love deeply, but who very much wanted to control the world for her own reasons, I think right now what's calling me is peace. Someone where I just feel accepted, where I can belong and not have to struggle to fit in. That's where I am right now.
I like that.
Yeah.
I use the other term for it, home.
I say that all the time.
Home.
Coming home is happy harbor. That's what I say. Women, you want a great man? Be his happy harbor. Men, you want a great woman? Be her happy harbor. Where they can come home, they can anchor their ship and feel at peace, and they know that their ship is safe.
There's a great song that I listen to sometimes before I go to bed, Homecoming.
I don't know.
Josh Ritter.
No.
It's a really good song. Yeah. It's about coming home. To me, love is home. You know, love is creating. I had a dream the other night about that feeling of love and feeling of being home. Literally, I was on a deck, you know, looking at the ocean. No, looking at the ocean.
Deck. All right.
And the house was full of love, and it felt like home. And I think that as we get older, as we grow as evolved souls, as men, we really want that feeling with not only in ourselves, because that's really what it comes down to, because what you're looking for is a mirror. Because don't forget, all the relationships we've ever had before have been cracked mirrors, right? or they've been broken mirrors, or pieces of the mirror that you need to put back together, because you and I love to save and help and partake and like helping somebody be the best that they can be.
Mm-hmm.
How about looking at yourself as a complete mirror, shining brightly and recognizing another complete mirror? Because to me, being able to literally come home every day to that beautiful feeling of appreciation, that feeling of acceptance, feeling really safe. And I think that's what a lot of women don't understand, that as a man, no matter how strong I am or how strong you are, I want full acceptance by my woman. I want my woman to be able to look at me and say, I get it. I understand. I understand you're having a moment right now. And there's something else. I was talking to somebody tonight, and I said, you're the first person I've ever met that I did not want to go into the man cave.
You feel like you needed to escape.
Right, because every woman that I've ever been with in my entire life, I've escaped into the man cave because I didn't feel home. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel accepted.
You felt judged.
I didn't feel seen, and I felt judged in one way, shape, or another. Maybe I was in whatever story they were trying to project, right? But I literally told her, I said, I feel no need to go into the cave, because when I expose my true self, it's seen and reflected back at me as being okay. That, to me, is what home feels like.
It's the happy harbor of what a relationship can be.
It is. It's a beautiful thing to have that happy harbor. We've grown, man. I've watched you grow, man. You're growing up before my eyes, man.
We've been through a lot together. We've known each other, what? Oh, gosh.
10 years?
At least.
At least 10 years? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've grown up a lot.
I would hope so.
I've seen you in so many different ways. So many pretty ways.
Pretty ways?
In so many ugly ways, right? And I've watched it. And it's funny. A lot of women, you miss the boat when you age, when you are an ageist and you don't open your heart to a man that might be a little bit older than you.
Talking about women, you mean?
A lot of women will look, like women of 40, 41, 42, will look at a guy in his 50s and go, I really just want somebody in their 40s. The fact of the matter is, men are in way better mental and emotional shape in their 50s.
It's really funny.
Than ever in our 40s.
When I was in my 40s, I would look back at guys in their 30s and 20s and go, God, they're fucked up. Like, they're so not ready for a relationship. And now that we're in our 50s, it's like I look back at my 40s and go, wow, was I fucked up.
Right?
Relationship. By the time I'm 80, I'm going to be so ready for a hot relationship.
I think you're ready now.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm way ready. I'm so ready, I'm like a fucking ripe peach, man, in the middle of a fucking hot summer day on a tree.
We sear that.
I mean, I've seared it at this point.
I mean, we were just talking about this date recently where I met an amazing woman, very highly accomplished woman. And our first date was like, she was so smart. She was a student at Stanford when I was teaching there. And she's really accomplished and really deep and very self-aware. And I said to her, you know what? I'm going to tell you all the stupid shit I've done over my life. Our first date was, I'm going to tell you my stupid shit that I've done. And she goes, great, I'm going to tell you the stupid shit I've done. And we both, pretty accomplished people, talked about the stupidest mistakes we made. And that was our first date. What a difference from being in your 20s and 30s and wearing that mask of perfection or mask of performance. We just got it on the table and said, all right, look, here's my worst shit. And it's like, here's my worst shit. And she's like, that's it? And I'm like, that's it? I'm like, yeah, that's it. All right, cool. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk.
You kidding me? In my 20s, I was represented by William Morris. In my 30s, I was with CAA.
Oh,
and in my 40s, I was with United Artists. Mm-hmm. The fact of the matter is, I fucking always had the representative showing up. And the fact of the matter is, so did they. And it's interesting, when you decide to lose the representative, you're no longer defending your actions, going back to exactly what we talked about.
Yeah.
Love somebody for their worst shit, because you know what? You've been on this planet, and I've been on this planet for 5 decades, right? So 5+ decades at this point right now. The fact of the matter is, we've done some really fucked up shit.
Yeah, most people have. There's a great quote in Dr. Stan Tatkin, who wrote Wired for Love and Wired for Dating. He said that marriage vows should be, do you take this man or do you take this woman and all their exes and their fucked up parents and all the mistakes they ever made and all their complexes and all their fears, and do you take this entire pain in the ass to be your wife or husband? That's what vows should be, because that's what we're getting, but we don't like to see it in the beginning. So it's nice to admit it and be cool with it and come home to yourself and just admit this is also part of me, and I'm bringing all this fucked up shit from my past to you, and let's just work with it and let's play. That's a nice vow. Do you take this pain in the ass with all their past wounds and troubles to be your partner, because you're going to bring that as well. So you're two pain in the asses getting together. Much better vows than, the kind of idealized version of, do you take this angel on earth to be your partner?
You know what utopia is?
Yeah.
You know what fucking living out a fantasy is, and living out a fucking romance is? Taking all their shit and knowing it.
Yeah, and playing with it. And saying,
playing with it.
We're going to play with it. Let's create something beautiful. I mean, look, David Data, who I worked with for years, had a great analogy. He said, the blues. Think about the blues. They took pain, like black Southern Americans, basically, took the pain and indignity of what it was like to grow up African American or black in the American South, and they turned it into art. They turned it into blues. And it's a great metaphor for all of us, taking all our pain, not that it's exactly quite the same, maybe not as painful or as deep or as cultural or endemic, but we all have pain. Everybody carries pain. Taking the pain of your life, the wounds of your life, and turning it into art. That, to me, is the fun of relationship. That's the fun of intimacy.
And that is today's 10-minute daily reality check. I can't fucking top that. My life depended on me. Adam Gilad in the house. We will bring him back tomorrow for another podcast because he's in my house.
Yes.
And all of you will get to listen to him one more time, at least one more time, because we will probably have one more genius conversation to share with you.
Let's do it.
So for the rest of you, do me a favor. Spread the love, spread the podcast, like me on wherever you need to like me, and see you tomorrow, man. Reality check out.